Okay, welcome to the video. In this video, I want to talk about the STAR technique, or sometimes referred to as the STAR method, what that is and why we use it, and I'll also show you an example using the STAR technique. I'm Professor Job Offer, and I've spent the last 10 years with a number of Forbes Global 2000 companies, and I'm here to share with you my tips and tricks on landing your next job offer. So what is the STAR technique? Well, it's an interview answer strategy that I use during job interviews. It's actually well structured and organized, which makes it easy for both the interviewee and for the interviewer by creating an easy to follow story that contains both a conflict and a resolution process, with you being the main character, the protagonist, and your actions resulting in a specific achievement. So and you might have guessed that it is an acronym. So starting with S, S stands for the situation. So we're talking about the event. What is the background information? What was happening in the story? And what was your task? What were your roles and responsibilities? What were your goals that you had to achieve in that situation? And A stands for the action. How did you become the hero? What were your contributions, your actions that resulted in some sort of achievement? So, and that's what brings us to R, the result. And that's when we're talking about your achievements, deliverables, accomplishments that came to be through that situation because of your actions. And that's what makes the STAR, the STAR. So we took a look at what the STAR technique was. Let's take a look at why it is so widely used. I've divided the perspective into two different parties. Well, starting with the interviewee. From the interviewee's perspective, the STAR technique makes it very easy to organize your thought process. Especially in such a nerve-wracking environment, you want to be able to easily organize your thoughts to clearly communicate and answer the question given. And STAR technique allows you to answer those questions with clarity and with structure, so it's easier for the listener to follow and understand. So we have the other perspective, which is also from the interviewer's perspective. Well, same thing here. It helps them to easily organize the information that they're given. The interviewer, they're going through many questions, and you're giving them tons of information. And by using the situation, task, action, result, they're able to easily organize the information, and that actually makes their job easier, so they can just quickly go through the checklist to see if you are a good fit for the position or with the company or not. So let's take a look at the STAR in action. Well, here's one of the most common interview questions. So tell me about a time when you had a conflict with a team member or a coworker. Probably see this in every other interview, or even more often than that. So starting with S, the situation. So yeah, I was on the organizing committee for the company's Christmas party, and we found that we would exceed the budget by about 20%. Well, this is because each organizing committee member had a different perspective of the priorities and how the budget should be allocated. So right here, this is where we describe the situation, an event where the conflict among the team members existed. Because we had different perspectives, we were actually over the budget. So what was the task? Well, as a team, as a committee, we were short-staffed, and we only had a few weeks to plan for one of the largest events of the year with a limited budget. So we're giving a little bit of weight into the scenario that it was one of the largest events of the year. And what was my action? How did I become the hero or the protagonist here? Well, in order to efficiently identify areas to reduce expenses or spendings, I suggested taking a step back and creating a table with importance or weights assigned to each of the categories, such as like catering or the Santa Claus or gifts and etc., to reevaluate the allocation of the budget. This is what I did. These are my contributions. So what happened then? This is where it takes us to the R, the result. So by assigning the weights and creating the table together as a committee, the team was able to align and agree on the priorities and determine areas to save costs and reach a few $1,000s below budget. So this is where this is our accomplishment, right? These are achievements to help with the situation. So yeah. Well, in this video, we briefly talked about the STAR technique or the STAR method, what that is and why it is so widely used and why it's so popular. And we also took a look at the STAR with an example. In the upcoming video, I'll share with you on when you should be using the STAR technique, because it may not be applicable in every question, and how you should be formulating your idea so you're able to quickly think on your feet using examples. And one more thing, there are many additional resources available for you for completely free on YouTube, such as like how to highlight your coffee shop experience on your resume or CV, where I take you through line by line on what and how you should be writing on your resume if you have ever worked at a coffee shop, right? So going through like this, so you have a beautiful section like this on your resume. Or if you're just wondering how to use different action verbs on your resume, I have a video on that. Or if you're curious as to how do I formulate my education section on my resume, I also have a video where I take you through line by line, starting with a basic information to your GPA, awards, courses, and other extracurricular activities to highlight your education section above and beyond your competitors. Well, I'm Professor Job Offer, and I'm here to help you land your next job offer. Thanks for watching.